Do you think that Nike can stop marketing?
Nope.
They can't, but everybody knows who Nike is, right? Do you think that Apple could stop marketing? Do you think that Samsung could stop marketing? Do you think that, Tesla could stop marketing? Just because everybody knows who they are doesn't mean that they can stop marketing, because it's only a matter of time before, when you stop, from the point that you stop marketing, or that you're not as loud and as public and as known. You said it right, not the best agent gets hired, the most known agent gets hired, right?
Step up on the scene with his New York lean. David Kurz looking clean with his wholesales team. We ain't come to talk nonsense, it's all about the process and profits. Until we make $1 billion from deposits. He never slacked and teach him to take action. So far from whacking, never gave up his passion. Can't catch him lacking, damper down on his fashion. He forever stacking, running up all the cash in. Real estate mastermind, check out his book, he gave us the blueprint. Really can't hate the grind, put in the work, no making excuses. Quitting's a waste of time, you made it this far, don't make your life useless. Pull up and taste the wine, he got the flavor, mixing the juice.
Hey, what's up, guys? David Adam Kurz here with the David Adam Kurz Show. Man, thanks again for tuning into this podcast. We always love bringing you tremendous value. Today, I'm coming from Dallas, Texas. So many of you know that I operate and live in Miami, Florida, but we are launching our title business in Texas. So I am traveling in Dallas right now. And man, it is hot, dude. It is like 110 degrees outside. It's ridiculous. You sweat and you don't know that you're sweating because it evaporates right off of you. It's insane here. Mike, I bring in Mike Cuevas on the line with us, dude. Mike Cuevas is a friend. We've known each other for many years, since we met at Closing Table ages ago in San Diego, and the founder of Referral Suite. Mike, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Isn't it that hot in Florida though, too? Because you're from like Miami,
is,
aren't you? Doesn't it get that hot?
It does, but there's a major difference, right? Like in Miami, it's so humid that when you sweat, you know you're sweating, right? Which happens, by the way, instantly. Like you walk outside, you're instantly sweating. Like it is bad. But it's the difference between a wet steam sauna and a dry sauna. Like that's the difference between Dallas, Texas, and Miami, Florida, But honestly, I'm not that mad at it. It's 110 degrees. It's hot as hell outside. I still was able to walk down the block for lunch today, and without like being completely drenched, which I'm okay with,
Makes a lot of sense.
Okay with. Dude, so I wanted to bring you on. We've done a few podcasts together. I've had the honor and the privilege to have you on the show a couple of times. I've been on yours, which is amazing. We've got a great platform, the both of us. We've got a hell of a following. I've seen you develop and create and be instrumental in the real estate industry when it comes to tech marketing and things of that nature. And, we have something that honestly, I've been selling real estate with my team in South Florida for 19 years now. This is my 19th year in business. And in all those 19 years, there's been a stat that has never really changed. And that stat is that 90% of people will say they will use their agent again, but 80% of those people don't remember who their agent was. Another stat is that most people will sell to a sphere of influence person first, but then they would sway away from their sphere of influence out of fear of bothering them. And so now they're going hunt business from people that they don't know, that don't like and trust them, that they have to create relationships with. And I think those stats are, by the way, stupid and staggering, right? Like the most successful agents that we know for sure, that both of us know, you're on the West Coast, I'm on the East Coast. Like the biggest stats, the things that we know for sure is that the most successful people in this business, A, reach out to everybody that they know. There's no secret about them being who they are. And B, they have a tremendous connection to every past client that they send out or that they work with. They don't treat them like transactions. They treat them like people. Yeah. And so you created a program and a software called Referral Suite. And dude, I'm interested in digging into this. And by the way, folks, we're digging into this because I believe in the software. I believe in its purpose. I'm a big believer, like a diehard believer in its purpose. And, I want to dig in on that with you. Like, I know you saw the hole in the industry. I know you saw the gap that needed to be filled.
Well, let's unpack those one by one, and I'll answer them all for you, because everything we're going to talk about today is going to be based upon theory. It's going to be based upon mathematics. That's where it comes from first. And you're right. Most people chase the wrong audience in this business versus realizing that all the business is just right in front of them. And what I'm saying is not like, I'm not just saying don't prospect at all. I'm not saying at all. I think prospecting is a small part of it, but there is an absolute difference between prospecting / advertising and marketing. And what we're going to be chatting about today is going to be on marketing. Like, how do you become the best marketer? So to answer your first question is that the best agent doesn't get hired. The most popular one does. The one who has the most top of mind brand awareness. And the reason for that is because 80% of people hire the first person they meet with. Okay. Period. These aren't my stats. These are just the stats of how people choose their agent. And you're right. Nothing has changed in the last 20 years of how people have decided to hire their real estate agent. The only way that's changed is how their real estate agent communicates with their database. But fundamentally, it's the exact same thing. It's just that video has come up as a way to communicate, as opposed to just being on direct mail. Text messages has come up as a way to stay in touch, as opposed to just making phone calls. So there's a lot of ways to go, but fundamentally, the way that your mind works is that people still decide the same ways they've always has. And it comes down to these three things. One, you know and like the person that you're going to hire. Two, you know of the person you're going to hire. You have to be thought of first, right? And then three, in order to recommend any product or service, you've had to experience or trust in their product or service primarily, right? So here are the numbers that I want everyone to write down. If you write down anything, it's going to be, look, here, this is what it is. And you could tattoo these on your freaking forehead. Please do. Write them down and stare at them in your mirror every day, because this is not a hard business to get business in despite market conditions for what I'm about to share with you. 10 to 15% of the people you're going to come across, and David's in a public setting right now, but if you look around that room, 10 to 15% of the people in there are moving this year.
Yes.
Right. And there's nothing, most of them don't even know it yet, but 10 to 15% of the population moves each and every year. Okay. That's stat number one. Stat number two is 100% of the population knows someone they can refer you to. Okay. Stat number two. So if my goal was to become more referable, I mean, what do I really need to do? The average agent only does 6 deals a year, which means you're literally hiding in a closet, because 10% of the people I come across on a daily basis, they're moving, and 100% of them have the ability to refer me business. The only way you attract business is through top of mind brand awareness. The only way you create top of mind brand awareness is through consistent communication or content creation. So I'm reverse engineering it.
Like you're saying this, and so, look, when we talk about marketing and branding, one of the things that I usually ask people when we coach them is, do you think that Nike can stop marketing?
Nope.
They can't, but everybody knows who Nike is, right? Do you think that Apple could stop marketing? Do you think that Samsung could stop marketing? Do you think that, Tesla could stop marketing? Just because everybody knows who they are doesn't mean that they can stop marketing, because it's only a matter of time before, when you stop, from the point that you stop marketing, or that you're not as loud and as public and as known. You said it, right? Not the best agent gets hired, the most known agent gets hired, right? So once you stop making yourself known, it's just a matter of time before people forget you.
Yeah, because we're not that important.
Yes, and that's equal for, but I bring up the big names because it's the same for them, right? Like those big names, they can lose their asses if they stop reminding people who they are. Because people will go, Nike who? I use Adidas.
Take that thought.
Right?
When you think of Tesla, who do you think of?
Elon.
When you think of Nike, who do you think of?
Jordan.
Okay, I have the same answers. Now, why is that? Because it's the personal brand that builds the overall brand.
Right.
When I think of Mike Cuevas, I want to hear real estate.
Yeah.
When I think of, if I'm a mortgage lender, when I think of mortgage lender A, I want to hear lending. Right. But there's a combination. Your personal brand is the face that builds what you do for a living. But Elon Musk doesn't go out and constantly communicate on X now just about Tesla. He doesn't even talk about Tesla.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He just reminds you that he's the owner of it.
Yep.
So my whole process is no different. It's like, look, if you tell people you're in real estate, and there's a difference between marketing and advertising. Advertising is just listed, just sold. Marketing is going into a long form post talking about the case study of how you made the people you just served feel.
Right.
Which one you want to do? Which one's going to get more engagement?
You want people to feel.
the problem that the industry has in general is that we're taught to advertise and prospect with all of our communication, and nobody's taught to market. And it doesn't make any sense to me because the vast majority of business doesn't come off of a lead generation, an autoresponder, or an ad. It comes from the relationships we already have. Me not focusing on my relationships primarily is no differently than me going out to start a Mexican restaurant in tacos and then serve gyros.
Yeah.
Like, you have to like really consider this, because no business exists without first determining then who supplies my business. So if we backtrack to define your business. Who, like, if I'm going to start a Mexican restaurant, I'm going to put it in PB, which is where all the college kids hang out in San Diego, because I know they're up till 4 a.m. and I'm going to sell more tacos there. Right. I'm not going to go put it in a retirement home.
Right.
That's what a real estate agent does when they don't even talk to their database. What they do is they just say, I'm going to go out and chase a bunch of people I don't know, try to get them to trust me and like me, as opposed to transforming the people you do into your fucking sales force. Excuse my French. That's what it comes down to, right?
But you're right. And I say it all the time. What you need as a real estate agent or as a salesperson, let's get real estate agent, bicycle salesman, car
all the
salesman,
same. Attorney,
shit, right?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's all the same thing. And so what I always tell people is you need your cheerleaders, right? You need your cheerleaders. You need people in your sphere of influence, in your life, that believe in you, that know you, that like you, that trust you, and will always talk about you when the time comes up.
It's really that simple. It is that simple, because everybody knows someone who's moving this year. Those are the only numbers that matter. So then what it comes down to is, okay, consistency, right? Because of what you said earlier, and I don't know if you guys caught that, but it's a valid point. And I could tell you from my own podcast, like when I stopped being consistent. I used to get 20 to 30,000 downloads a month on my podcast. Okay.
Super dope.
Today I'm getting about 5,000 to 7,000 downloads a month. What happened? Well, here's what happened.
You stopped pushing it.
I stopped pushing it. I stopped communicating with my database for 10 months while I was building the final ends of Referral Suite.
Right.
So the concept's the same. I have a podcast because I need to market and stay relevant to an audience of people who might hire me or who might buy Referral Suite in the future.
Right.
My podcast is just a form of media, no differently than an agent's Facebook page, Instagram handle, TikTok account, email list, and direct mail outreach.
So let me ask you a question. All right. So you just brought that up. Break down Referral Suite for me.
Shoot.
Right. So break it down for me. Give me like agent jumps on. They go, hey, you know what? I'm gonna work with Mike. I'm gonna get Referral Suite.
Sure. I would love all you guys to get Referral Suite, but whether you do or not, I want you to write this down, because here's what it comes down to. I'd like to be everywhere all the time. The one who is seen the most is the one that everyone gives into. Fair?
Right.
So how do you do that? Well, all we do in Referral Suite is we take on a three-channel, multi-channel approach, which is really simple. I don't believe in farming strangers. I do believe in farming relationships. But I don't believe in sending them a bunch of sales-related messages, because you don't need to tell people you're in real estate. You need to remind them that you are. And the second you can start doing that with the content and the communication you send out, people start consuming your shit. The second you start consuming your shit, you start becoming more referable.
Right.
But if I just constantly if I go to David and I'm like, hey, I want to get on your podcast to sell Referral Suite. Hey, I want to get on your podcast to sell Referral Suite. Hey, I want to get on your podcast to sell Referral Suite. Work. David's like, get out of here, Mike. I don't care about you. But when I say, hey, David, I want to add value to your listeners, because quite frankly, I don't care if your listeners buy Referral Suite or not. It's up to them to make that choice. Me as a marketer, my only job is just to remind people that it's out there. They're going to ultimately make the choice, but they will be more than likely to when I add value into their life.
Right. But you know what's, I agree with you, but I also, I'm the other side of it, right? They have trouble doing the things necessary to make those relationships happen. The email, the letters, the constant communication, all that stuff. They have a hard time doing that. And, you say you don't care if they get it. I do, because I feel like you're making their life significantly easier.
I appreciate that. But I track business. I never had to sell myself in anything I've ever done. Not just the way I am. But this is exactly the point.
My brain,
you're doing it for me.
Buy it if you fucking
you're doing it for me right now, though.
The truth is, you're
doing it for me. I'm proving my point, because you're like, no, buy Mike's stuff, and I'm like, no. I'm like, you guys can do it if you want. That's what attraction is, you guys.
Yeah.
So let's break this down, because this is what's super important. let's just start with social media, if that's cool. When people create content on social media, first off, like here's one thing. Dave, do you remember any videos you saw on social media 2 days ago?
Probably not.
Exactly. No one remembers the videos from yesterday, okay? But you just remember you've seen somebody, right?
Yeah.
So when people get on like video, short form video is what you have to do on social right now. If you're not, someone else is, and they'll infiltrating you. It's because that's where the eyeballs are at today, guys.
Right.
So the first hurdle is you got to come up with a consistency in social media. But here's the real reason. Once you build out your content calendar, how many times are you going to post a month? Nobody realizes the low amount of engagement and reach all social profiles provide today. When you're posting on your Facebook personal page, you're only seeing like 15% of your friends see your posts. When you're posting on your business page, it's like 5%. I don't even think you need a business page anymore unless you're planning on running advanced ads and lead generation.
Yeah, you need it for the ad flow, but
that's it. But why am I bringing this up is because social, when people make a post, they think that everyone in the world sees it, including myself. I'm like, should I really post that? Oh, so many people are going to see it. Dude, only 15% of people see it. That means you're missing 85% of your referral sources. No. So for social media, you have to create more content. I recommend 10 plus consistently, because just like my podcast lost listeners, the only thing that changed is I stopped marketing it every Saturday on my show. And then since I've been rebuilding it back up, now the numbers are climbing back up. So like, it's literally that simple. You have to be consistent on social media. The question is that nobody knows what to post.
So you said recommend how often? 10
minimum. I like 10 for our coaching clients a month. That's it.
Okay.
Because people are going to go out there. And here's the thing too, is that 80%, 70% of those posts should have nothing to do with real estate.
Yeah. I'm like a 10 a week guy.
Yeah. Like you don't need to talk about real estate.
No.
Like I could look at, I have my popsicle behind me, but if I had my listing sign behind me that said just listen, it was just part of my background. Would I ever need to tell you I'm in real estate, even if I was talking about building Legos?
Absolutely not.
100%. That's where branding's at. So like the things behind you is what needs to tell people you're in business, not what's coming out of your mouth.
Right.
Anything in the community will work. Real estate agents are not real estate agents. You're tour guides. You sell the community first. Anytime you're talking about restaurants, tours, new things going on, new development, schools, like, because no one buys a house before they first buy into the community.
Right. It's true.
So become the best tour guide in your market, in your way, and that is your social media strategy.
So you were mentioning people don't know what to post. So what's your solution for that?
So let me pull up a couple from my calendar. So what we do is we create content each month, and we give people all these different types of ideas, and then they decide what they want to post. But let me just give you a couple ideas. I'm going to show you some of the ones I posted I liked personally this month. One of them was, so I created a piece of content that was a article I found about why Michael Jordan couldn't sell his house. So I put the article behind me with Michael Jordan's shot. And I'm like, Michael Jordan can't sell his house? Well, that's because Michael Jordan is breaking the 3 biggest mistakes of selling a house. Here they are. The mistake number 1, Michael, your property's been on the market for 14 years. Nobody's going to buy the house that no one has ever bought before because no one wants to be in the same position you're in. Cut. Number 2, Michael, you need to depersonalize your house. You got big shoes to fill. Yeah. No one's going to want to imagine that everyone wants to live in Michael Jordan's house, but does anyone actually have the balls to do it? Regardless of what the content is, why would I create that? I didn't say one thing, I'm a real estate agent. I didn't say one time, like I do this. I didn't say one thing, I do that. No. I just reminded them I'm in real estate.
Yep.
So your content needs to remind, not tell. I also like restaurant. I love business shout outs.
Me too. I'm big about that, especially like local, small 100%. Business, locally owned,
especially the ones that deal with your brand. So David's in the service, right? Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
David's, for example, for David, he's probably giving shout outs to veteran owned businesses every other day.
100%. Yeah. It's
right?
Awesome.
And then you tag them, and how often does that come back and reciprocate to you?
It's and so much so, like, business owners, they're struggling already as it is. So if you come in as an influencer and you give them that shout out, that's a huge thing for them.
4 years ago, we were doing a bunch of just videos, and we used to do, before COVID, like my entire video editing service was all business owner interviews. Every one of our clients are doing business owner interviews. They're just out there meeting the business owners. But the key is picking the business owners that relate to your brand, because what you're really telling people is, this is how I roll. You're allowing them to get to know you, and that's where the human connection is made. Remember, folks, everyone lives somewhere. It's not a matter of if they're going to move, it's when. Nationally, that's 4 to 7 years.
I tell people all the time, we sell the number one commodity that everybody wants or needs.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we're trading. We're trading somebody's biggest investment. We're trading somebody's biggest want or need. Like, housing is that biggest want or need. 4 walls and a roof.
Here's the simplest social media posting strategy ever. Every 30, just get in the habit of literally taking pictures with your phone of the weirdest shit you see while you're out showing houses. Like in David's market, I'm probably doing like the Versace mansion, like just cool things like that one condo building fell over. I remember a couple years ago.
Yep.
Like,
that was a big news article.
It was huge news. But each one of those things, you could just literally share a picture and be like, would you put this in your house? Done. People way overthink this shit. I'm like, dude, some of my content, there's 3 types of content you want to create for social, and I'll switch over to a different channel. But 1, short form videos. Preferably the ones that have the green screen behind you and the feature on Reels are the ones that are performing best as of the time of this recording.
Yeah, they've been. Yep.
You know, the second one, this or that. Ask for engagement. Do you like this? Or you like that? What's your opinion? And that could be on anything real estate related.
Right.
And then the third type is personal content of your own. Like literally, hey, the kids are going back to school. Are you freaking out like I am?
The dog.
It doesn't matter. And the reason why that's so important is that you have to mix in your personal content that has nothing to do with business at all, because it juices the algorithm to see more of your content when you do talk about business.
100% agreed.
So there's a formula to it, but bottom line, you have to be consistent, guys, and don't sell your shit. You don't need to.
Yeah. Yep. And so how do you suggest that people get in front of the people they know? Because obviously there's the obvious thing, right? Which is the social media post, but like you mentioned, only 15% of the people that you know are seeing that. Then there's the other obvious thing. Pick up your phone and fucking open your contacts and call people. Like, just simple, like pretend it's 1920 and the phone was just invented and it's the only way to do it, right? Like, honestly, and I don't even know if that's the year the phone was invented, but you know what I mean. Yeah. And you know, and stop thinking about, I'm going to post a lot, but I'm never going to call anybody because then you're just ridiculous. Like, this is a contact sport and it is a people relationship sport.
I'll give you the cadence.
Give me the cadence on that.
So for social, because the algorithm reach is so low, you have a branded personal page account, boost to your followers. That's it. All you need to do is remain present. You can spend $5 a day. No one's doing this. Like, I'm just like, where are you guys at? Like, duh. You don't need a business page. You don't need to go to Ads Manager because you're not trying to generate a lead. You're trying to generate an eyeball. And when you just boost pick the best video you have every month or the top 2, and every 14 days, boost to your followers, your social media marketing is done. You don't have to do anything else. Okay.
Yep.
The next thing is that social is just social. It's media you don't own. The next thing you want to do is build out an email list. Video email is something we do have in Referral Suite, but the reason why I like video email so much is it takes my face and puts it in front of theirs.
In front of people. So you're hitting 2/4, you're hitting 2/3 of relationship development, right? Correct. The sight, sound, and touch.
Yes.
So video gives you sight and sound.
It's the effects. The key is impactful communication, which only video can provide, because 90% of all communication is based upon tonality and body language, which you can't do in a text message and you can't do on a direct mail piece even.
Gotcha.
You could do that that's why it's the most impactful. I asked you earlier if you remember a video. You didn't remember the context of the video, but most people remember they saw a video of someone.
Yeah, someone. Right?
Something. And it's no differently from your database. Yeah. But with video email, the content strategy is usually a Hallmark greeting card strategy. The video email we did this month was real estate related because the NAR lawsuit. That's a big news. That's the only time I ever recommend sending anything real estate related, because the video email, like the branding of it, will have I'm a real estate agent. It says you're a real estate agent in the signature line. Therefore, you don't have to tell them.
Yeah. I heard something the other day that was really interesting. There was another big coach that I'm familiar with, and he was mentioning the 6-point rule, which was, sending out 5 emails of content that gives to your database, and the 6th email is selling something, right? So instead of every email being about just sold, this is what I do for a living, blah blah, it was more of 5 emails of giving something that people need, and then the 6th email, you can sell them something. And then another 5
100%.
emails giving them people that they need. And then the 6th email, you can sell them something, right? So that they get reminded that you are trying to actually have clients, right? but you're also coming from a place of contribution. That's a tremendous place.
Love you said that. So let's unpack that a little bit if you don't mind, because that's awesome.
Yeah.
You cannot be scared to ask for the business. People expect it, but you can't just only ask for business, because if you are, you're just a beggar. Okay. So like what David said is exactly right. The more you give, the more you're able to ask. And more importantly, you won't feel bad about asking. So for example, if I have a video email series and a campaign running, let's just say it's July, I'm on my 6th video email, whatever. I send 1 video email a month. Okay. That's it. I get about a 40% open rate because it's video email and our subject lines are creative and we don't talk about real estate. So people are like, what's going on in my community? And all I'm looking for are the eyeballs. But because I sent 6 video emails about the newest restaurant that opened up. The next one was about like a Valentine's greeting where I was just saying happy Valentine's Day. Another one was like a blank on my dog died. Another one was on, hey, I got married. It doesn't matter. Whatever the context is. The 7th one I send, I could literally be like, look, do you have any referrals for me? Done. Yeah. And no one will get mad about it.
Nobody will get mad about it because you came from a different place too many times.
They will respect it more than anything.
Agreed.
But let me share with you the last channel that no one does anymore because they think we're in this digital age. And it's the biggest mistake. Direct mail. I farm my database with direct mail.
I'm a big advocate.
Why? Because it is the only 100% of people will not see your social media posts. 100% of your people will not open your emails. But 100% of people will get this letter in the mail before they pitch it in the trash. They physically engaged with me.
Yep.
That's pretty damn powerful.
Yeah. And sometimes it sits on counters, refrigerators and magnets.
Old people save mail. I mean, I think I'm old now because I save mail, so I'm 44. But I was like, you go to people's houses, and you'd be like, you cut my postcards? And they open up the drawer and there's a whole stack of Smartest Agent Ever postcards in there. You're like, what are you doing? Like, that's crazy. But you're right. People will keep the direct mail.
Yeah. I'm a big advocate of print marketing.
Dude, it's air, land, and sea, you guys. Anybody who does what I just said, let me just repeat this. 1 video email a month. 1 video email a month times 12 is 12 touches. 1 direct mail piece a month times 12 is 12 touches. That brings me up to 24 touches. Add in 2 client events, 3 touches each. I'm at 30 touches. Okay. Add in your social media, 5 to 10 posts a month. Start at 5, get up to 10, whatever it is, you'll get your cadence. It's impossible to not trip over business because you're everywhere all of the time. And in a business where 80% of people hire the first person they talk to, you just increase the chances of the first person they talk to.
Right. Mike, let me ask you a question. How can people, so we're a little limited on time now. How can people get in touch with you? How can people experience the referral suite opportunity?
Absolutely.
Because I know you say you don't care, but I do. I think it's a huge benefit, and I think it'll help people sell more real estate. And in a world right now where that is kind of shaky, you got to do everything you can do. And this is relationship based, which is why I love it so much.
I agree, and I appreciate that. You guys can find us at Referral Suite. That's like sweet, like the popsicle, SWEET, ReferralSuite.com. We are a software suite of referral-related services that make you more referable. And there's a lot of other things in there, branding stuff, coaching, training, etc. But that's where you'll be able to find us.
That's amazing, man. Mike, how can they find you on Instagram, social media?
Look
Facebook.
up Referral Suite or Mike Cuevas, Referral Suite or Mike Cuevas, and just follow me on social or on Facebook. Guys, visit our site, and you'll see all of it there, and you'll find me on ads afterwards.
Huge. We're going to have all those links, by the way, in the podcast, in the YouTube. So, just scroll down and check out the content that we put in there in the feed. Make sure you guys subscribe to our feed. Make sure you find Mike Cuevas' podcast too and subscribe to that baby too, because it's amazing. It's fantastic. Guys, thank you again for tuning in to the David Adam Kurz Show. Mike, thank you for doing this with me consistently and continuously.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks, guys, for listening. Thanks for having me.
Dude, you bring so much value to the table, and I know that we changed somebody's life today.
Love it.
All right, brother.